How's it going, guys? I have got yet another Android Auto Apple CarPlay device for you to check out. Now I know a lot of you guys realise this already, but just in case you don't, please be aware that I'm not doing a hard sell on these things. I'm not trying to sell them to you. I just love technology. Companies send me these products to check out. I like to compare the features of them, and being an avid off-road motorcycle rider myself, I know what I like, and I know what good features are. And yeah, I can tell you guys what I like and what I don't like about each one of these units. None of them are perfect. They all have their pros and cons. But I think at the end of the day, you know yourself whether or not you're interested in getting one of these units. Again, I'm just here to compare the features. This one here is the Linkifun MT7. Now I don't know where they get these names from, Linkifun. They've been around for a while. They do all sorts of AI CarPlay boxes for cars and all that sort of stuff, and they're getting into the motorbike ones now because these are sort of gaining popularity. There'll be a whole lot of different sections in this video. You can check the chapters down below if you're interested in one particular part of the video, but we will be taking a pretty deep dive into the new MT7 from Linkifun. Now this one, like a lot of current units, does come with TPMS, tire pressure monitoring, and also front and rear dash cams, so it's really good. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the unboxing and then we'll see how it works. Alright, let's unbox this thing real quick. As you can see here, it has a different brand. It doesn't say Linkifun on there. I'm not sure what that's about. There we go, there's the main unit. As you can see, it's a super wide screen. Very nice metallic finish on the back there. We've got security bolts, anti-theft, a nice all-in-one cable there. Looks like we have an SD card there and also a USB SD card reader. Looks like a 64 gig SD card. These must be our TPMS monitors. So pretty standard there. It's all actually quite nicely packaged. Looks like alloy handlebar mount. Yeah, it's very slick. Also got a pretty decent little Phillips head screwdriver and some tools to fit it. Some more mounting bits and pieces, zip ties, and there we go, there's a screen protector in there. Looks like a tempered glass one. And we also get a nice little instruction manual. There's another box down here as well. There's one of our dash cameras. Looks like a nice long lead on that one. Another camera, power lead. It's the remote control for the handlebars. I believe that's a quick release mount, and there's our cable that goes from the all-in-one to all the different plugs there. You do also get this little sticker strip, so you can customise the little strips on the back of the unit with a colour of your choice, which is pretty cool. And that is everything. Just went to put the SD card in there and there's already one in there. Oh, there you go. Okay, so this mounting system is a little bit different. As you can see, we have all metal alloy parts here, which is good. By default, this is how it comes, with that plate mounted to there with these security screws. And then of course this claw goes onto the ball there. And you can tighten that up and you just mount that to your handlebars. If you're not so worried about security or about this thing getting nicked, you can use the included quick release. Now I'd recommend thread locking all these bolts. So once you take that off, you can then remove the ball from that plate with the 4mm Allen key, which is handily provided. And we take our quick release and separate it. And then this thinner part gets attached to this plate, and you can put it in a variety of combinations. As you can see there's a hex piece that will slot into there, so you just want to slot that in wherever you want it. Use the supplied bolt, and again don't forget to thread lock. Grab your 4mm Allen key, tighten that one up. Then you'll take your ball and attach it to this other side of the quick release. There's a hex there as well, so that will sit in there. Again, don't forget to thread lock, and then that's that done. And of course this one bolts on to the unit with these, and then this will attach to the mount, and you'll have a quick release, which is actually quite nice and snug. So basically just slide that on, push the button in. not rattly or anything. It's nice and snug and tight, and then you can just push that button in there to release it. Yeah, if you want a quick release, there you go, and you've only got that one cable to undo, and you can remove the whole thing from the bike. Alright, usual story, we'll go through a real quick overview of how this thing works, how it looks, the home screen and everything, and I'll just give you a rough idea of how long it takes to come on. So from power on right now, so this will be in real time, boot up time. It actually seems to be a bit quicker than previous ones I've reviewed. So there you go, it's loaded up and it's recording through both cameras. So that's your basic home screen. Obviously if you have it connected to battery power permanently, it will keep the date and time and everything up here. You've got your battery voltage in the corner here. Yeah, for anyone interested in power consumption, this one seems to use up the usual, around about 5 to 6 watts as measured by my little power station here. So yeah, pretty standard. Now firstly I'll show you guys, there's only basically one area where there's settings, which makes things really easy. Going to here, you've got brightness. Now one thing that I really like about this unit is, as well as having automatic brightness setting, it's also got limits, so you can have it not dim below a certain percent. So if you don't want it to go dim below 50%, you can set the lower limit there. If it's too bright at maximum brightness, you can reduce the maximum. That is pretty cool. But yeah, and you can turn off auto brightness there as well. Got assistive touch settings there. You can clear your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections and everything, and you can turn on rain mode as well as normal mode there. If we go down to the next page, we've got camera settings, record resolution. This one you can actually change between 1080 and 720. How long each loop recording will be, set that to 5 minutes. You can turn on and off the microphone to record audio, and you can mirror the rear camera, so I'll turn that off. We go down to system, change language, date and time, format your SD card, factory reset, all that stuff, and then we go back to home. So basically you want to replay any video that you may have saved, you can do that on this screen. I don't have anything exciting there as yet. And we go into the live camera view here. Got one camera. Now I'm not sure why that one is upside down, as you can see here. It's got the dot on top, so it should be right way up, but it's actually upside down, so not sure what's going on with that one. The other one seems to be okay. Yeah, hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the quality. It's not great, but it is fairly dark in here. Now we can switch to the other camera, and then same as most of these, you can have side by side. So if you tap the screen, you can bring up a menu there. You can stop or start recording. You can lock a file if you don't want it to be overwritten. You can take a photo, go back to home. You can switch to Android Auto or Apple Carplay here, and you can turn on and off the microphone there. Go into the TPMS, you can change here between bar and PSI, set your high and low limits. I did accidentally unbind the front sensor and I can't seem to get it to rebind, but I'll try again to get it hooked up once we get it connected to the bike and everything. Okay, so after emailing support a couple of times, I finally managed to get it to repair. I had to unbind both of them and then set it searching again, remove the sensors from the valves, put them back on, and then eventually it would detect them, and I got them both working again, and they automatically connect every time you turn the unit back on once they're paired, so all good. The other thing to do is connect up to Android Auto or CarPlay if you have an Apple, and that's down here. And I'm going to switch over to Auto. Now we'll go into our phone settings, go into Bluetooth here, go down, and it should show up as MT7 something something. Click on that and pair, and then we should have automatic Android Auto come up. Take a little while on the first go. There we have it. We have Google Maps. Now you can change the view on this, obviously north up, and overview, and then yeah, the 3D sort of view. I'm not going to go into too much about Android Auto, but guys, as usual, we've got a little draggable menu button there that you can go and switch to different parts of the app. You can change the brightness. As you can see there, it's on auto. You can go to the home screen, all that sort of thing. Here's a quick look at Guide GPS on this unit. I feel like the scrolling and dragging around is a bit quicker on this unit than previous ones I've looked at. Alright, I've got my Bluetooth helmet comms. I'm going to switch that on and see if we get any update with this audio here. So I did manually go in and connect to my FOD Sports helmet comms. I'll go over here. Alright, we have done that. Alright, so we are playing music on my phone through my Bluetooth headset, but it's obviously not detecting it here for some reason. Doesn't matter, if you go into Android Auto, it will let you control the music over on this side. Alright, so that is the MT7 in a nutshell, guys. Very easy to use. Alright, we'll go and get it installed on the bike anyway. Alright, now real quick before we get started on the install, when you're adding stuff to your bike, it is good practice to know how much weight you're adding. So we'll have a look at the main components of this unit anyway. Obviously the tyre pressure monitors, 10 grams each, 9 grams each. The main unit itself, now that's with the quick release and the bracket for mounting to your handlebars as well. Comes in at 618 grams. You have cameras, one weighs 117, both together you've got 202 grams. You've also got your miscellaneous cables and stuff there too, so I'll just put everything in the bowl, cleared that to 0. Just to get a rough idea of total weight. Don't know if the camera's showing it there, but 980 grams all up, so just under a kilo for the whole lot. Alright, now the first thing to do in these situations is to crack a beer, unless you're some kind of barbarian. Yeah, I'm just going to go over the basic install of this thing to the handlebars. I'm not going to worry about showing you how to install the cameras. I've done that in different videos. They are just self-adhesive. You can zip tie or screw them on. Now you do get a bunch of plastic spacers to fit in here if you have a smaller handlebar, like if you have 22mm bars. I'm hoping that this will fit straight onto my fat bars here. So I like to have the unit low down. I don't want it sticking up here so that it's in the way of my dash and everything. So put it down like so. So now we just put the ball mount in there and that'll sit up like that. We can tighten this bolt at the bottom. You can see how nice and low it is. It's almost level with the handlebars there. It looks good, it's out of the way. And of course, as I showed you guys, we do have the quick release mount on here, so we can just slide that straight off. Very nice. Alright, I'll get it wired in next. I'll do the power first, so that way I can show you guys one of my few complaints about this unit. So my complaint, of course, is that you need to have an accessory wire separate from your power. So you've got your positive and negative for the battery, and then you've got your accessory as well. Now, of course, that is because this unit doesn't have any way of keeping the time when it's not powered up. It's not a big deal, but I do prefer the ones that just have one positive and one negative. Just hook it up to accessory power so that when you turn the key on, boom, there it is. And if you're not too worried about that thing keeping the time, then you know, you can just connect both of these up to your accessory power. I'd also like it when they come with a USB power option as well, so you can just plug this into a USB socket and off you go. Yeah, just for the purposes of this test, we'll put them both onto the battery. It's no biggie. Alrighty, so I've got the cameras mounted here. Here's the rear one. It's just zip tied there, guys. Look, you guys know this is a test bike. I'm always getting new stuff to test out on this bike, so none of this stuff is a permanent installation. I've got the front one zip tied up here. Now what I don't normally do is install the remote, but I will do it for this unit. It just clamps onto your hand grip there, so it should be pretty easy. That's actually a bit loose on this hand grip. I do believe there are spacers that we can use with that, but I'm not going to bother too much because, as I said, it's just a temporary installation. Okie dokie, excuse the flickering if there is any, but we now have both of the cameras up the right way. So yeah, picture looks pretty good. One thing I'll quickly show you guys that I guess was a bit of a complaint, but when you think about it, it's probably a good thing. What actually happens is when you power it on, you get this screen. So you have to unlock your phone before Android Auto will start. I'm not sure if it's the same with Apple CarPlay or whatever. So what we're going to do now is stow away the rest of this wiring and go for a bit of a road test and see how bright this screen is out in the sunlight. Alright, we are out on the bike. Now, I'm not going to show you guys, we'll go through the whole Android Auto process. That is the same on all these devices. So the main thing we are looking at is how bright the screen is in the sunlight, how easy it is to see, and also get some footage off of the cameras and see how good that is. Now just remember, this is a very vibrating bike, the 690. The footage is not going to be super smooth or stable on this bike, but as long as it can capture any of your crashes or near misses, that's pretty much all you need. Anyway, we'll go ahead and have a quick look at the camera views. So we've got the front view there, rear view back there. Looks like a nice clear picture. It looks nice and bright too. Got the side by side shot. So yeah, the brightness is on auto and it's automatically zipped right up to as bright as it can go, which is good. We'll hop on into Android Auto. So we'll just see how it looks as we're riding along. It's partially cloudy today, but hopefully we'll get some full bright sunlight. But to me, so far, it looks pretty good. It's fairly bright. Yeah, it's still cloud cover, but hopefully you guys can see there how easy that is to see. Coming into some partial sunlight at least up here anyway. Now you will notice that this one doesn't have a hood over the top like some of the other units do, so that will affect the glare a little bit, but it is actually still very easy to see that map. I could give that screen a bit of a wipe with a cloth to get the fingerprints off it, which would help, but it's not too bad. And I'll grab a bit of footage from these cameras, especially from along here. So here we have the front view. It is pointing off to the side a bit, but that's my dodgy mount. See if I can sneak through here. There's a bit of rear facing footage from the back camera. Even though this remote here has sort of limited functionality, I'll show you guys how well it works. So you can click home to the home screen, flick to the camera view. Watch what you're doing. So yeah, there's all that other stuff you can do with the remote, which would be handy in the rain when you can't really use the touchscreen too much. So yeah, there is that. Alright, cool. Head back and do the usual wrap up, the pros and cons of the Linkifun MT7. Okay then, the all-important pros and cons list. Obviously, this is just my opinion. Everybody's going to have their own idea of what's important with these sort of units. We'll start off with the cons, get the negative stuff out the way first. First one I would say is definitely the price. The price of this unit is probably around about double the cost of other units that I've reviewed in the past. It is sort of more of a premium unit, but you know, there you go. The price it's up there. So there are cheaper ones out there, but if this is exactly what you're looking for, then maybe it's worth paying a bit extra for you. Another negative, which is probably the same with a lot of these sort of units, is you can't install standalone apps. You can only run what works with Android Auto and Apple Carplay. I have reviewed other units in the past that you could do that. They are sort of few and far between and hard to find, but yeah, that's sort of it's a positive and a negative at the same time. You know, if you do have the ability to do that on these sort of units, that means basically that you need to have your Google account to access the Play Store stored on the unit, so you lose a little bit of that security feature of, you know, basically these things have no personal data on them if you're just using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Another small complaint I had was the length of the cables on the cameras. Previous units I have reviewed had extension leads for the cameras, which made it possible to, you know, you could not use the extension lead if you didn't need to, especially for the front camera. This one does have a longer lead for the rear camera, but the front one's also quite long as well. And there's no extension leads, they're just permanently attached to those cameras, so you've got to coil up that extra wire and store it somewhere. Okay, now speaking of cables, another complaint, and this is probably my biggest complaint with this unit, is the power cable. So you need to have battery connections as well as that separate accessory connector. Some people won't mind this. Personally, I prefer having just a positive and a negative. Also, it's good when they come with a USB plug or power option, so you can just plug it into a USB port and off you go. Another small one is that camera was upside down, even though the indicator mark was on top. For some reason it was inverted. Easy enough to loosen off the mount and rotate that to get it level, so no big deal there. Pairing the TPMS, although I did get it to work in the end, it was a bit of a pain in the ass. Other units I've used been very easy to pair the tire pressure sensors. This one, yeah, took a while to get it right, but once it's done, you know, if you never unpair them, they're fine. They'll just keep working. But certainly more difficult to repair than other units I've used. Now the auto lock screen. So every time you turn the unit on or restart the bike or whatever, and you have to unlock your phone to enter Android Auto to get your maps to start working, that I could see being a major pain in the butt. Okay, turns out it was my fault. There is actually a setting in Android Auto that somehow got switched. I don't know how. I didn't change the setting. Maybe it's a new setting. I'm not too sure, but you can set it to not show content on Android Auto if your phone screen is locked. So I have changed that setting back now, and I'll demonstrate. I've got my phone here, screen is locked. I'll turn the power on. We'll get into the home screen, and then shortly after, Android Auto will start up automatically without having to unlock the phone. There you go, no problem at all. So yeah, my bad. I am glad that that's actually the case, because that would be super annoying, but yeah, it's just a setting, so that's all fixed. Another small negative with this one is there's no sun hood over the top of the screen, so you do get a bit more glare on it, but because it does have a nice bright screen, it's not a huge deal. And the very last negative that I found with this unit is you only get one mounting option, so you only get that one handlebar clamp mount. You do get the quick release as well, and you know, the whole setup is very nice. It's a real nice, good looking, lightweight alloy, strong mount. But yeah, that's the only option you get. But you know, that's probably what most people are going to use anyway. And that's it for the negatives. So guys, we'll finish off with the positive stuff, of course, which is always good. One thing I did like about this unit, even though I just mentioned it, was the mount. You know, even though there is only one option for mounting it, it's a very nice, high quality mount, and that quick release is really cool. The screen itself looks really sturdy. It's waterproof, vibration proof. Got the vibration dampener on the back of it. Looks solid. I don't think you have any problems with longevity of this thing. I really like the software on it. The interface of it is polished. It's all very well laid out. There's no sort of inconsistencies with it that I've noticed with other units in the past, so it's very polished software. Super easy to use, which I love. As I've mentioned previously, a lot of these are becoming super easy to use. I like the bigger screen of this unit. Like, even though it's not a huge screen, it's a good size for motorcycles, and it's nice and wide. It's not high, but you do get that extra width, which can be great in certain circumstances, you know, when you're having side-by-side camera views, or your music on this side and your maps on this side. Just that extra bit of space is really good. The auto brightness on this one is definitely a standout. Works really well, and also being able to set the low limit and the high limit for the brightness is a nice touch. And although I did mention that these are fairly expensive, you can get 15% off. I've got a discount code for you guys, which will be down in the description. There'll be a link down there. Click that if you're interested in this. Use my code to get 15% off. I'm pretty sure there's free shipping as well. But yeah, the bottom line, guys, the bottom line is this is a pricey unit. It is very well polished, nice features, nice mounts. If you want to pay a little bit extra to get something that's, you know, top notch and a little bit faster, then, you know, this would be the go for you. Otherwise, check out my other reviews. I've done other cheaper units like this. But yeah, of course, thank you to Linkifun for sending this one out to me to check out and show you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video, or at least gotten something out of it, a little bit of information about the MT7. Yeah, thanks again for watching. Hit the subscribe button down there, and see you on the next video. Cheers.